Okay, in the middle, we have the crown, which is our King, Jesus, okay? Lord of Lords, King of Kings. And then all of these are pairs. There's 7 areas of church activity you'll have in every church of any kind. And there's 2 different things that we do, or diverse aspects of each activity. They're all biblical. They're all necessary under some circumstances. It's never a case of one is right and the other is wrong. Never. It's the ratio. It's the balance, the proportion, or the relationship between the 2 that we need to analyze prayerfully. And that's the key to help nearly every church planter that's got problems. They've never done this. What are we going to compare Christ's rule with? Man's rule. Hebrews, 13, something that says that we're to obey the leaders that God has put over us. Man's rule is biblical also, right? Now, when does man's rule become oppressive? It's a question. What the obvious thing.
When he abuses his power?
You abuse it, over control, on ego trips, and above all, when it supersedes Christ's rule. Does that happen? Go to any mission field, hang out a while, and you'll see it happening all over the world where churches will not let a non-ordained man celebrate the Lord's Supper. For example, in Honduras, we are in this major time. Our men that were becoming pastors, we were training them. Most of them had never even finished grade school. Some of them could not even read. We had to teach them to read. A very low economic level. And there was no way they could fulfill the requirements for ordination. Yet they did have the pastoral gift. And they were good pastors for that level of education, right? You understand what I mean? For that level, for their villages, they were perfect. Because they identified with the people. And they met all the biblical requirements for a pastor, all of them. And they had the gift from God. But they could not baptize, they could not celebrate the Lord's Supper because of man-made rules. So we had the horrible situation where almost none of our churches, people could be baptized or celebrate the Lord's Supper until once every long time some missionary outsider didn't even know the people would come in and do it. And that only weakened the pastor's role because it just shouted at the people they're secondary. They can't do the really important stuff. Anyway, that's all over the world where bylaws do supersede the commands of Jesus. It's very common. And in many areas. But anyway, okay, this is one area where in every field it will vary. In older, larger churches, naturally you're going to need more bylaws to function. You have to have them. So you analyze your church, or the churches you're starting, your field, the people you're working with, all the factors, and you find the right balance between the rule of God Himself and the rule of our God-given leaders. Now, most traditions of man in the churches are good. Let me clarify that. The great majority are good. They were created for a good purpose. So we're not attacking tradition as such. When is a tradition bad?
It becomes religious or...
When it serves no purpose or contradicts obedience. But most traditions are good. For example, you agree on the hour you're going to meet, your particular church group. Unless it becomes a tradition. But it's a good tradition. You have to have some rules like that. And this meeting, you gather here how often? Once a month? That's a tradition.